Welcome to the Wizards 3 podcast. I'm Macklin.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Sawyer.
Welcome back to, depending on your loyalty to the podcast. For those new here, we're just three friends who like to talk about stuff and things and stuff. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good.
Can't complain here. Pretty good.
That's fantastic.
Awesome stuff. As always, we're recording this on Sunday and it releases on Tuesday. So Wednesday.
Our schedule was a bit hectic. We didn't get a chance to record during the week, but we're making up for it now. Yeah.
Cool. I do have some news this week.
Sounds good.
Most of it's kind of just rumors that have been going around within the gaming communities, but I thought it'd be nice to at least kind of say what's going on. So, for those that are PlayStation 5 users, the PlayStation 30th anniversary themes have been pretty freaking cool because they're like the only customizable thing that you've really been able to get for the PlayStation 5 since launch. They left 2 days ago as of recording this. But PlayStation says that they have plans on bringing them back eventually. Not any other type of themes, which is what people want. They just want to bring back the stuff they made. So that's great.
Love that.
Kind of going to their rivals, Xbox, in their plans to become a more multi-platform company, have said that they're going to start releasing Xbox exclusives on PlayStation, with some rumors saying that Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear Rising, or is it
Metal Gear
Solid and Rising are individual games, aren't they?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising, and then Metal Gear Rising Revengeance are separate games.
Metal Gear series and the Halo series will be the first ones that they release.
I didn't know that the Metal Gear series was Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, I think so. Like Xbox/PC exclusive.
Okay.
Which is like kind of like the thing for PlayStation games. So it's like they're PlayStation exclusive until they're PlayStation PC exclusives. Yeah. There is there's possibly a new 2D Metroid game in the works. Ooh. Which could end up being a launch day game for the Switch 2 when it comes out. So
yeah, Switch 2.
That could be interesting.
That sounds
I don't know how far in development it is, if it's in development, and I'm not 100% sure when the Switch is coming out. I don't think there was a date.
No, there's no date.
So
sometime this year.
That's a possibility. And lastly, this is a little bit less big than everything else, but there's a rumored Ben 10 collab with Fortnite.
I saw that. Well, it was. I think they said something about I saw this, and the creator was like, "Hey, Baymax is the game. You never know." Yeah. There's also Avatar. Like, not
Blue
the other. That's because I was like, wait, not that one, but I was like, they were already in the game. We have those skins.
Yeah, and there's also a rumored Devil May Cry crossover as well.
I think there was also supposed to be more Jujutsu Kaisen skins, but I don't really know anything about that. So
yeah, I don't really care about it either.
Neither do I, but I saw it. That's it for me.
Okay, my turn. First things first, talking comics, there's a couple of new number ones this week. The first is Star Wars Legacy of Vader number 1 from Charles Soule and Luke Ross. It's about the legacy of Vader. I don't know. It seems like it'll be I don't know if it'll be a ongoing, but it's not just a one shot. It's about Kylo Ren and Darth Vader or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with Star Wars comics. And then the other number one is Power Man Timeless from Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Bernard Chang. This is set in an alternate future where Power Man, Luke Cage, has the power of the Iron Fist, the Sentry, and is gamma powered. He is basically unstoppable.
It's a bit overkill, don't you think?
Yeah, but it's sick as hell. So yeah, I'm interested in this. I'm a big fan of Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing from their work on Captain America. So we'll see about that. When it comes to, there's a bunch of other comics coming out this week. We've got new Batman, Absolute Superman, Ultimates, Avengers, Wolverine, Birds of Prey, Aliens versus Avengers, JSA, just about everything. Lots and lots of stuff after last week, which had basically nothing come out because it was a weird week. But I'm very excited. Hopefully it'll be good. So yeah, that's comic book stuff.
Nice.
Moving into other news. Before we talk Oscars, I'll do these quick bits of news. Brad Pitt is going to star in The Heart of the Beast, with David Ayer set to direct. The survival thriller follows a former Special Forces soldier and his retired dog who battle for survival when a plane crashes deep in the Alaskan wilderness. David Ayer can make good stuff. He made The Beekeeper, and his new movie, A Working Man, is out in March, so that should be interesting. Zach Cregger, the director of Barbarian, is officially set to direct a new Resident Evil movie. Apparently, it's going to be more horror-focused and more faithful to the initial games. There's no, it's still being bidded for. The studios are still bidding for it. But I think that'll be really good because the Resident Evil movies have really focused more on the action side of things.
Yeah.
Especially the newest one, Raccoon City, whatever.
I haven't seen a lot of the movies. I saw the most recent series, and it wasn't bad. It focused a lot more on, the backstory and, origin of a lot of the stuff that happened. But you said this director's pretty good?
Oh, yeah, he made Barbarian.
So, I have faith. I think, again, I think Resident Evil is a really interesting concept, and they can do really cool things with it. The games are really cool. It just seems that for some reason they haven't completely been able to translate it to other mediums, which I think this one should be one that is fairly straightforward. It's just like a Walking Dead style zombie. Sometimes it can be. Yeah. It can be a lot of things.
The next bit of news I put in here because I'm dating Nasa, and if I don't talk about this, she'll beat me up. The Jonas Brothers will star in a new Christmas movie releasing later this year on Disney+. The film follows the Jonas Brothers as they must face many obstacles to get home to spend Christmas with their families. I think it'll be enjoyable for me, who will watch it with my girlfriend, who loves the Jonas Brothers. So I look forward to that. I mean, the Jonas Brothers made their start on Disney Channel. So
fair enough.
We'll see.
Back to their roots.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal will officially star in a supernatural romantic thriller directed by M. Night Shyamalan. The film is based on an original story co-created by Shyamalan and novelist Nicholas Sparks. Nicholas Sparks is the guy who wrote The Notebook.
Okay.
There's nothing else about it that's been released. I don't know anything. I just thought that was an interesting thing. So yeah, we'll see. Speaking, yeah. Speaking of stuff we'll see about, Eddie Murphy is going to lead his first original comedy movie in years with Blue Falcon. The movie follows a retired super spy who heads for the destination wedding of his son and finds himself in proximity with his arch rival. Once again, very interesting. I think we'll see if that's going to be any good, because, Eddie Murphy will always be funny, but, his stuff has been hit or miss, lately. But, at the very least, still be watchable, so.
Fair enough.
And then one of the last bits of news I have is that Terrifier 4 is in the works. According to Damien Leone, it's going to be a utterly satisfying conclusion, and that he will finally reveal Art's origin in the film. Well, after the last movie, that was a wild ending, I'll be honest.
It was a wild ending. It's starting to go far heavier into the supernatural element of
which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be cool, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I want to see more about Art's origin. I kind of like him just being a killer. Like, he's a killer just because he's a killer. Don't always need a backstory, but it can make him more interesting.
I was gonna say, who's to say that is gonna explain why he's a killer? It might just explain what he is.
Yeah, it's probably going to explain what he is. Okay, the last bit of news that I have. If you listened last week, the Oscar nominees were released the day before, or day after we recorded. So, if it sounds like we're late to this, we are, but nothing we could do about it. I'll go through some of these. They're pretty standard, what I was expecting. For actor in a leading role, the nominees are Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes in Conclave, and Sebastian Sen in The Apprentice. There's those ones. For supporting role, Yura Borisov in Honora, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. For actress in a leading role, nominees are Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison in Honora, Demi Moore in The Substance, and Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here. For actresses in a supporting role, Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande in Wicked, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana in Emilia Perez. For animated feature film, because, we're big fans of animation.
Oui.
The nominees are Flow, Inside Out, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul, Let's Go, and The Wild Robot. I'm very interested in this one because for the longest time I thought that it was going to be Wild Robot, but Flow is sort of sneaking up on it there.
Okay. I haven't seen it, so I might have to check it out.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing it. For Best Director, the nominees are Sean Baker for Honora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard in Emilia Perez, and Coralie Farge in The Substance. The Substance got a lot of nominations here, and it's sort of fucking with me, I'll be honest.
Why is that?
It's not the kind of movie I was expecting to be nominated. And then the for Best Picture, which is the big one, the nominees are Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So I think it's a pretty good slate of nominees. I'm trying to watch all of the Best Picture nominees at least twice before the Oscars. I still have a few to watch from the Best Picture nominees, but so far so good. You guys have any thoughts about the Oscar nominees?
No, I'm glad that The Wild Robot got nominated. I think it deserves something. Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about any of the other films.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm quite happy that The Substance got some attention. I think horror should be given a bit more credit than it's been given in the modern landscape of film. So this is a good step. I like it.
ironically, and no pun intended, there's not usually that much horror movies with substance.
Yeah, it's true.
Which I feel is why they're not nominated. But this one has substance.
Mm-hmm.
That one is.
add laugh track in the background and the doo-doo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty exciting stuff. We'll be all over this, whether everybody else likes it or not, because I'm a part of this show.
Fair enough.
So, well, that's all the news that I have, and now it's time for us to change the topic, start talking about what we want to talk about. This week, just a few days as of us talking, I'm not sure what I'm saying. When this releases in a few days, the first 3 episodes of Invincible season 3 are releasing, which is very exciting. We're all big fans of the comic series, right? Have you read it all, Aiden?
I've read, I think, the first, I'm going to say between 12 to 20 issues.
Okay, so you've read the first few.
Yeah.
So you
I got through like the first season of the show.
Yeah. Nice. Cause I read the whole thing a few years ago. Holy shit, like 5 years ago now. Holy fuck, that's a long time ago. Yeah, so I read it a while ago. Macklin, you've read it the whole thing.
Yes.
Mostly through Google Images.
Dude, I don't know what was going on that day. I was like fiending for some Invincible content. I don't know what was going on.
I just always remember Macklin would be on his phone scrolling through pages of Invisible comics on Google
Invisible?
Images. Invincible comics.
That's so funny.
It's hilarious.
I needed an Invincible fix, man. I don't know what to say.
Okay, so we briefly discussed the first half of season 2, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so because what happened?
Yeah, because we recorded that episode basically during the break.
Yeah.
It's break.
Yeah, because what happened with the first season was released all in one back in 2021. It was released
Wasn't it 2020?
2021. According to Google, it says 2021.
I chose Google.
See? March 25th, 2021.
All right.
According to the first episode date on Google.
Interesting.
So we like the first episode, the first season was released all at once. No problem. And then for whatever reason, the second season was released in 2 chunks. The first 4 episodes were released at the end of 2023, and the last 4 were released at the start of 2024. I mean, it was probably to like make sure that it was released on time, but I'm like, it's such a strange thing to do. It's something that Netflix has done before, but they always do it. They release a chunk of the season and then another chunk, because the Netflix is all about like binge, but they're like, we can't release it week to week, so we like have it boom and then boom. I know they did that with the last season of Stranger Things.
Probably. I think I had watched it once it had already come out fully.
Yeah, but that's what they did, is
So.
because like I remember being
Yeah.
like I was going to watch the first part and then like before the next part had come out, but I never did. But yeah, so I mean, there was also the what's it called? The Adam Eve special.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever caught that.
It was pretty good.
It was
I liked
really
it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. I just never got around to checking it out. But so what are our thoughts on the show? What are we feeling?
I really like the show. I think it's adapting the comics very well, but it's making some changes that are making it better. Like in the comics, Amber isn't the same character that she is in the show. She's a lot more like passive and sort of thing, and there's also when Omni-Man leaves, Debbie is in grief, obviously, but she blames Mark for it, where in the show she doesn't, which I think is a much better change. Yeah, I think it's a very faithful and well-made adaptation.
Faithful?
Faithful, yeah. What'd I say?
Fateful.
Oh, faithful adaptation. And the animation style is really gorgeous. There are many sequences where I found myself in awe of them, and it's also extremely well written. And I enjoy the fact that they're corroborating with Robert Kirkman, the creator of it.
Yeah.
Corroborating like it's a crime.
Yeah, collaborating, I guess.
I really liked it. I am definitely not as into the comics as the other two, but I from what I've read, I liked it, and it seems like they've stayed as true as they can while still relatively making it something a little bit different so that it's not just a one-to-one. And I quite like that. I think some of the character changes they made were really nice. Some of them I don't like as much just because of the way that the characters interact with each other. I really like the animation style. I think it works really perfectly. I don't really know. I like a lot of like the jokes that they make and how they adapt some of the jokes from the comics into the show. I think that's creative. Overall, I'm really excited for season 3. I think if they keep the momentum that they have from the last 2, even though it kind of dipped in the middle of season 2, I think they'll make another really, really great series of episodes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
See, I hate that I'm always the wet blanket here because I'm a big fan of the show. My only problem is that I don't like the animation. I think it's kind of stale compared to stuff that has come out recently, like X-Men '97, Creature Commandos.
That's
like
fair.
it just doesn't. There are times when it feels like they're just dragging a PNG across the screen.
Yeah.
Like that's not very interesting. Like I'm gonna watch no matter what. I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of Invincible. I like this show, but I'm like, come on, man. Like, what? Like if you watch, shut up, Siri. Oh my god. If I had a nickel for every time that happened when it does not supposed to, I'd have a multiple ton of nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird
No,
that
I
it's
was in the
happened
middle.
twice.
Okay, I was in class and I was like we were doing something. I'm like joking around or whatever, and all of a sudden Siri goes, "Here's what I found," and I'm like, "Shut up! I swear to God." But anyways, I'm just the only problem I have with Invincible is just the animation because it just feels bland compared to like the other stuff that's coming out, like
That's fair.
currently, like it just like those. Like especially X-Men. X-Men was so electric, and like watching it, I was like, "Holy crap! You can do this on TV like week to week, like holy shit!" Because like Invincible is great. It's great. The character designs are really cool. The animation itself, like style itself, is cool. But just like the actual action of it, it just feels bland.
Yeah. What I'm really excited for about season 3 is that it's adapting one of the community's favorite parts of the entire comic series. This is slight spoilers if you're at all interested in Invincible, and I won't talk about it if you care about spoilers.
I do not, and I rarely do.
Okay. It's this part of the comic called the Invincible War, where Angstrom Levy brings in a bunch of evil Mark variants, and they all go to our Mark's world.
Dude.
And they shit up, and it's wild. It's insane. It's fantastic.
Dude.
This is also the time when Mark distances himself from Cecil and the GDA, and he gets his blue suit, too.
Yep.
It's fantastic stuff.
His kid brother becomes Kid Omni-Man. Great stuff. Is this when Mark gets trapped in an alternate dimension?
No, that's later.
God, what?
Yeah, what? I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, why do I have the timelines confused? Because this is when a bunch of the evil Marks come to his place, but then it's not when he goes to the alternate dimension and stays there for a long ass time.
Okay, because that was one of my favorite parts in the comics is when he was trapped in the other universe, and then for the first time in the whole series, it just at the end at the end of the volume, because I was reading it volume to volume, and I would get 3 at a time, and I would read them, and then I'd get the next 3, and I'd read them, and then I'd go to the next, and so on and so forth, and so I'm at the end of the 3rd one. He gets trapped in this alternate dimension, and then he just goes, "Fuck." And then I'm like, well, what's happening next? Like I was like so mad.
Yeah, and that's the only F word in the comic too.
Yeah, it's the first time they say it, because I mean it's creator owned, so they're allowed to say whatever the they want.
Yeah.
But because it's meant for like a teenage audience, they wouldn't. Even though I mean, teenagers love swearing.
Yeah, it's true. But the Invincible War arc is really it's just awesome.
That's great.
I don't know if it's going to be the same as in the comic because there's obviously conflict of copyright infringement. But in the comic, one of the Invincible variants fights Spawn, which is pretty cool. Fights Image Comics Dragon Man as well.
Yeah, he's a cop. I don't know if you know this about him, but he's a police officer. No, his name's Savage Dragon.
Sorry, Savage Dragon.
It's like Dragon Man. That doesn't sound right. It's Savage Dragon.
Savage Dragon, yeah. Sorry. That's my bad, everyone. But after the Invincible War, Angstrom Levy sends them all away. They're cleaning up everything because, surprise, surprise, the Invincible variants kind of destroyed most of the world.
They're all evil.
Yeah. They're all evil, and the heroes on Earth couldn't really do much. Although multiple of them were killed, actually. But that's not important. They're cleaning up, and then one of the greatest fights in the entire series happens, which is Mark versus a character named Conquest. And oh my god, was that fight in the comic, like, that was peak. It was fantastic.
It was like Macklin was swiping furiously
Where's
on
the next one?
He was like,
does the punch land?
No, how am I ever gonna know what happens next? Google, tell me, Google, please. Okay,
Yep.
Here's what I found on the web for. Please.
Don't bring me. Sorry. Invincible vs. Conquest is one of the best fights in the comic entirely. It's genuinely insane, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I want you to experience it through the show, because I hope to God that they do it justice in the show like the comic did it. Yeah, though that's kind of what I want to talk about for season 3 as well. And also, people need to calm the down about the show. Like, yeah, it took a long time to get season 2 out, but I'd rather them take their time and make the show good than rush it out.
They're definitely overreacting. I do think that there is I think that there's some kind of basis in people saying that maybe they should have structured it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Because I do think that they kind of messed it up. But I don't think there's really any point in saying anything overly, exaggerated about it, just because it did happen, but it's probably one of the last times that something like that will happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like some people don't appreciate the fact that animation takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like, there's 8 episodes. They're all 40 minutes, like 40 minutes to an hour. That's a lot of animation to do, especially for fight scenes, which are dynamic, and there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. People just need to take a chill pill about this. It has spawned some funny memes, though, of like Amazon Prime just being like, "Us does anything, you guys, where's season 3? Where's season 3 Prime?" And it's that meme of Omni-Man with his hand on the car with William. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have much more to say about Invincible. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about it week to week as the episodes release, and probably talk about it once the entire season is out. I think
we'll do like your Mission Impossible thing, but it's like this week on the Invincible episodes.
Previously on Invincible.
But yeah, I think we're all. I don't know why I said it. I think we're all very excited for the new season of Invincible. I think we'll each be watching. Yeah, I don't know.
Best part of season 2 was when he went into the alternate reality where there was dinosaurs.
My favorite part of season 2 was when he came out of the portal with the gun from Fortnite. To reveal that he went into Fortnite. Was trapped there for a little bit.
I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah. Like, he literally exits a portal and hits Angstrom with the gun from an AR from Fortnite.
Yeah. My favorite one was when he goes into 2 different alternate dimensions and he meets Agent Spider with Profok, and then he meets a man who's dressed as a bat, and his name is, you know what, never mind.
Well, during the comics, he does meet actual Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Batman.
And Well, no, he like meets Spider-Man, and then there's a Marvel team up between Spider-Man and Invincible while he's there. So like there is a real issue written by Robert Kirkman that came out of Spider-Man and Invincible, like because Invincible is like an Image Comics character. In case you couldn't tell by the Invincible or the Image logo on Invincible's fucking chest.
Yeah. I've heard that it was like kind of lackluster, the Invincible and Spider-Man crossover.
It wasn't collected in the volume that I read, so I've never actually read it. But yeah, I've also heard that it's lackluster. But I mean,
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Aiden will read it.
Spider-Man in it.
Aiden's like, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, you say?
Like this Invincible comic.
He only likes Invincible when it's with Spider-Man. The rest of it, he's like, this would be so much better if Spider-Man was here.
I put all the comic pages that I read into like essentially what's like those like brain rot generators, but it just replaces Invincible with Spider-Man.
What will you have after think, Spider-Man, think.
Yeah, if you guys are wondering, Aiden, like, he doesn't do that. He just colors over he just like has it every time we look over. Aiden's got that's why he hasn't read it like more than the first season, because he just spends his time like he's like, come on, I gotta do this.
Read it because that's spoilers.
Yeah, that's spoilers for the show.
If I'm coloring like 8 pages ahead of where I stopped reading, what if there's a character introduced that wasn't in the 8 pages earlier? Then what am I gonna do? It's
gonna be Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
That's what
Oliver.
That's just what I say. That's Kid Omni-Man.
Omni-Man, like actual Omni-Man, is a superior Spider-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
It's Uncle Ben.
Same suit, but I just like put like Uncle Ben on his chest. A big B.
Instead of a U. Ben Man.
Omni Ben.
Is that a Ben 10 reference? Fortnite?
No, not again. No, spread to everything we love. No. I love seeing that thing where it's like, fun fact, everything in life is connected to Fortnite, because it's like Fortnite has got all these collabs now, and the collabs tie into other like IP. So technically everything is in Fortnite, or everything everything is about Fortnite.
You probably could have tied back Fortnite to the Blue People avatar way before they're going to be added to Fortnite.
Oh, likely you could.
Well, yeah, probably because of Aliens. James Cameron. Aliens.
And his connected universe.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Everyone knows that Xenomorphs and the Na'vi exist in the same universe.
I fucking love Avatar, dude.
That's cool.
Like,
I'm actually really pumped for the next one.
It comes out in December, dude. I'm so pumped.
December?
I'm so hyped. Yeah, December. Fire and Ash. Yeah, I'm huge. I'm a huge fan. I'm very excited.
You're a huge.
Yeah.
All the Na'vi lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked.
The last one was just so gorgeous to watch in the theater, and like it was so strange because they released it in, I think it was. I don't know if it was 48 frames per second. It was either 48 or 32, so it sped up compared to like normal films are shot 24 frames per second. So, well, your phone shoots, I think, at 32 on like. But that's separate. So he tried out something where he shot the film like and screened it at 48 frames per second, so everything looks smoother. So it's like really cool to look at. It was very hard to focus on it because it felt like a video game, because video games are usually at a higher frame rate. Just like in like animation, it's so like it was hard. That's what it felt like watching it. But I mean, like at a certain point, you just gotta admit it's fucking gorgeous.
It is.
It was really cool.
Like, yeah. So sorry, I just wanted to talk about Avatar.
No, it's all good.
Frame rates, that kind of stuff.
It's interesting stuff. I like Talking about that. Fun fact, actually, in Marvel Rivals, having a higher frame rate is the game's technically pay to win because having a higher FPS makes the game run faster, which means that the attacks and like your combos happen quicker in game.
Yeah.
So the higher FPS is actually
I think
besides
it's
the obvious
so
reasons.
what the problem is that every single Iron Fist is placed exactly like right next to the most powerful Wi-Fi router possible.
Fortnite's
so
the same
I think
way.
what we need to do is just,
give them the spottiest, shoddiest Wi-Fi connection.
yeah.
Switch. I'll take their Wi-Fi.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah. Get all people who play Iron Fist on to a Switch.
Yeah.
That's how we solve the problem.
Well, then they won't be able to play the game.
Perfect. Shit, you're right.
I see no problem here.
You think the Switch 2 will be able to do Marvel Rivals?
Probably, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm praying.
From what I've seen, it looks like it will be able to run better games.
Yeah.
So.
But also the old games.
Are they not gonna do a 3DS thing?
What do
They're
you
not
mean?
gonna change the.
No, they're all cross-compatible.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank
There was
God.
about to be riots.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to I'm definitely going to be picking up Switch 2 day one.
Yeah.
My Switch is my favorite console that I've ever had. The fact that just the fact that I can take it anywhere. Not currently because the battery's fucked up. It is from day one, 9 years ago. No, 8 years ago. It was
Wild.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it's
yeah.
using software that's 12 years old.
True.
Yeah, so we're the battery's all messed up. So if no, this is crazy. I take it out of its thing, and the battery goes 100, 74, 3, 8, 12, 104. Not actually 104, but like it goes all over the place.
Yep.
And it dies so fast. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So I have to play it plugged in like a normal console, but
Damn. Well, it would be awesome if you could play Marvel Rivals in there. You can play with us.
oh yeah, that'd be so much fun.
I mean, you don't have to,
I'm kidding.
but it opens it up. You can play as Spider-Man if you want to, or Captain America.
As long as you don't pick Venom,
What would I play as Venom?
because that's my character.
I don't want to play as Venom.
I'm a Lord Venom.
Okay.
I'm really good at the game. I've got Lord.
Okay.
Aiden does not have sex.
Shut up, virgin.
I think that was a pretty funny joke.
Yep, that was hilarious. What else do we want to talk
Okay, we
about?
took a break. We took a break in the middle, like right between the joke and when Macklin went, I think that's a pretty good joke. Just so you know, the audience knows, because for me, like for them, it's like nope, time has passed. But for us, there was a good long while where we weren't talking about the joke, so I've completely forgotten what it was.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
What else are we going to talk about?
I think that okay, so we've had a little over a week since we last recorded. We recorded last, what was it, on Wednesday?
Yeah.
We recorded on Wednesday, and then there was a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like 10 days since we last recorded, which is a long time.
It is a long time.
That's 3 more than 7.
Good math, Aiden.
Good point. Very, very good point. Macklin's got his hand up, and Aiden's got his eyes closed, shaking his head in delight. There's the high five.
That was a good solid high
So-
five.
In the time between when we last recorded and now, we saw a lot of movies together, whether it was just Macklin and I or Macklin, Aiden and I.
Or just me.
Yep. So I just want to do a little talking about them. So the first thing, Macklin and I went to see Sing Sing, which was directed by Greg Godard. I don't know if I said that right. It stars, here's why Macklin likes it. It stars Coleman Domingo, Clarence Macklin, Sean San Jose, and a bunch of other people. It's set in a correctional facility of Sing Sing.
Yes,
which
that's
is
the
a
actual name.
The actual name. And
Is it a musical?
no. As much as you'd want it to be.
I expected it to be as well.
So, the main character it is a part of this theater group inside of the correctional
Might
facility.
as well be a musical.
Yeah, might as well be. But it works better not being, because it tells the real life story of a bunch of real life people using their like by having them play themselves. Clarence Macklin plays himself. And there's almost all of the people that you see locked up are really them, like that is them. In they're playing themselves in the movie. And it's actually so interesting. And I mean, Coleman Domingo is insane as in the lead. It's I shed a few tears. It's just a gorgeous film. We were lucky enough to see it in the theater. I didn't think we would get to see it in the theater here, but luckily we were. I was very, very happy that we could, because this blew me away. What did you think, Macklin?
It blew me away too. It really resonated with me, because it talked about like theater and what it means to different people and like the power of it. And as a drama kid, I was like, man, this is awesome, because I saw a lot of like the feelings I felt towards the team drama.
Yeah.
So I teared up. I didn't shed any tears, but I got watery eyed, and it was a very meaningful and impactful film, and I think you would really like it actually.
It was wonderful. It was a very wonderful film, and so the next movie that we watched on the same day. My dad was supposed to come up to the city. This is something you'll hear again. But the weather was really bad. So instead, we were going to go see Wolfman together. But instead, Macklin joined myself, Mesa, and Emerson. And we went to see Wolfman, which is the newest movie from
I think I was working that week.
Right, yeah.
Lee Winnell. Aiden wasn't here in the city. He was in Melfort at the time. Nothing was going to stop him going home.
Nope.
I drove through that snow, and I was terrified the whole way.
But
It was
you
kind of
made
cool
it.
though. But
So this film stars Christopher Abbott, Juliet Garner. They're a married couple who seem to be. Their relationship is failing, so they decide to go to Blake, who's Christopher Abbott, his father's cabin in the woods, and he just passed away, so they're going to gather up his stuff so they could sell the place. And as they're there, Wolfman stuff starts to happen. So I don't want to spoil this movie, because I do think that
I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
One, if you can't figure out the plot of Wolfman, you shouldn't be watching Wolfman. It shares.
So real.
If you don't
If you can't figure out the plot of Wolfman, maybe you just shouldn't be watching media.
I mean, Wolfman is a reimagining. It's not a remake, because but it does follow many of the same story beats. The most interesting part of this movie is the performances. I think Christopher Abbott does incredible as the lead. And there's also a very interesting way that this story mirrors domestic abuse in the way that it's not very subtle. It's not a very subtle. Like, if you watch the movie, it's very clear. But as a whole, the film sort of fell flat for me. Not because it was the most supernatural, and it was the most different Lee Winnell movie, because his last two, Upgrade and Invisible Man, are very tech. And he really mastered the technology aspect of his filmmaking. And so him doing a film set in the wilderness is quite interesting, but this lacked the scale of his last movies. His previous movies have this incredible camera work throughout, where the person moves and the camera unnaturally moves with. And so seeing that the idea of seeing that being used with the Wolfman, where it moves in a different, unnatural way, where it's not it's like robotic way, like an Upgrade, where it's used the best. Like the camera follows him as he's like goes full robot mode. No spoilers for that movie. It's fucking good. It's the best Venom movie. Well, just letting you know, it's not actually Venom. It's robot Venom, but it acts. It's this basically Venom. But like it doesn't have any of that. It just feels like anybody could have directed the movie. Like there's no directorial flourishes. Like there's a few moments where I'm like, yes, it's coming, and then he cuts away and I'm like, come on, dude. What did you think of Wolfman?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the werewolf genre. I do regret, unfortunately, saying that it was my most anticipated of 2025 because it was kind of a letdown. It was lacking in a few places. I'm not the one to really say it because I'm not that up on filmmaking or filmmaker style, but there was something about it that just it felt like the majority of the movie was a missed opportunity. There were some cool ideas in there, like no, I won't spoil it either, but there were some cool opportunities, some cool shots, but it was overall just kind of mediocre. Like, I'd probably watch it again, but it's one of those ones that you toss on in the background while you're doing something else. That's where this one sits comfortably in that kind of zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hadn't really heard a whole lot about it, other than just like a trailer, but it looked cool. I didn't really know a lot about the director. I don't know a lot about the actors. I'll probably check it out when it comes on a streaming service, but it will probably be like a semi-background movie. So
yeah, very
kind of like what Megan was.
Yeah,
I kind of put Megan on in the background a little bit. It'll probably be a little bit better, but
I'm a big fan of Megan.
I liked it. I just feel like it was pretty anticlimactic at times.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Megan,
what?
the other movie?
Stop! You're giving Macklin.
Sorry,
you're spoiling it, Macklin.
I should stop trying to do transitions.
Either he spoils one for Sawyer, or he just absolutely steals one from me.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't spoil the transition. He has done that before where I got a great transition. Macklin's
right?
like, and I'm like, Macklin, no, I got it. Well, if we're going to talk horror movies that we watched together, this one we actually watched all together. We were all there. So we watched Companion, which is the new Drew Hancock film starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid, among a bunch of others. So it's basically about a woman who, alongside her partner, visits an old college friend of the boyfriend played by Jack Quaid. And the college friend is dating this old Russian guy who is like super rich. So he's got like this whole lake area bought, and it's all his. So it's like they're in the middle of the woods, they're surrounded by a lake, and so it's them and their friends, and then shit starts happening, and it's like, holy fuck, dude, this is wild. So what did you guys think of Companion?
We were gesturing.
You guys were just going back and forth like you go. And then
I thought it was pretty cool. Too bad I'm talking now.
Please do.
I had a lot of fun. I was on the edge of my seat for most of it, and there were definitely times where I had to like cover my ears because it was getting like super tense, and I was like, "Oh, something's gonna go down." But I just had a lot of fun. I think the acting was great. Jack Quaid played an amazing villain. Spoilers. But retroactive.
God damn it.
That was for the movie.
No, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, true. I don't know.
Continue.
I think all of the actors acted really well. They acted their heart outs as actors. Movie was a pretty good movie. Looked like a great movie.
Macklin, save him. Macklin.
I don't have a lot of other thoughts about this movie. I just had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie is a lot of fun.
It's a good movie.
The plot is very interesting, and the reveals in it were
Twists.
the twists. Sorry, yes, the twists were
Twist
very
reveals, same
effective.
thing.
I enjoyed not I enjoyed not seeing anything too much about it, like any real trailers for it, because I feel like that might have spoiled what was to happen.
Yeah.
So this way, the twists were much more effective, and the way that things are played out, the way that they work with the logic of the plot they have laid out, it's very effective and it works really well. And there were multiple times where I was like, "That's a shame." Like that thing's gonna happen. That sucks, but then it didn't happen. I'm being very vague because I don't want to talk spoilers.
When that first big twist happened, it was pretty twisty.
It was
So-
very twisty. I had a lot of fun though. I think the movie looks like fantastic. I really enjoyed the isolated feeling it gave you, and the fact that it's a cast of 5-6 people.
Yeah, Sawyer, you specifically.
Sorry, me specifically, or like
Yes.
You said the feeling it gives you. So I was like, me specifically, or
The feeling it gives
Sawyer.
you, Sawyer, and
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Aiden, and you, me.
and you, me.
Just me, myself, and I.
It's a very isolated feeling that works extremely effective because, yeah, it's a cast of
Keep going.
a cast of maybe 10 people total, and it's very effective. It's a very effective setting for the story that it wants to tell, because there's 6 of the main guys, and then there's a cop, and then there's like 3 extra guys.
Is it
I think
about 9?
Yeah, there's
Or
nine.
8-ish.
9 or
9.
8.
9.
Yeah, because
yeah.
there's the cop, the 2 other people, and then the 6 of them.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, the story is very effective. It's intriguing, and the plot twists work.
you're right.
They're actually enjoyable.
It's a 9-hander, if you will.
It's quite. It's a very fun time that I think if you're at all interested, you should go check it out, because it's not like it's horror, but it's not like horror. Like this guy.
There were
It's not-
pretty freaky moments in
There
there.
were.
Not
It's
as a
not
joke, like-
horror.
Yeah,
It's pretty horrific.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thriller.
I mean, this
I was thrilled
was the one,
thoroughly.
but this was the one by the team who made Barbarian, right? The guy who made Barbarian
He produced it.
produced it. Yeah, and
Zach Krager.
that's horror. Barbarian's horror. This is much more light than Barbarian.
It's great though.
It is great. There's nothing bad about it. That's not true, but last but certainly not
Say-
least.
Sorry.
No,
I guess
sorry.
I have to. I'm not allowed to talk. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. No,
Shut
just-
up, Sawyer.
Aiden, you shut up. Okay, so my thoughts on Companion are very similar to you guys. I was a huge fan of the movie. I thought it was lots of fun. It was a big surprise because I very often go into a movie knowing a lot about it, or enough, at least enough to know pretty much what's I'm in store for. But I've been trying, especially with new horror movies, to go in going, it's a new horror movie. If you want to know what it's about, don't ask me. Like that's what happened with this movie. I was like, Macklin, you want to come to this movie? He's like, no, I asked you guys and you guys were like, yeah, sure. So Macklin and I met up and we went to the comic book shop and we, you were walking back and goes, so what's the movie about? I went, I don't know.
Well, that's not true. You were like, it's about, and you started making up bullshit. I was like, is that really what it's about? And he's like, no, it's not.
That is something I would do and probably did. But see, the standout for this movie for me really was Sophie Thatcher, who I saw last year in Heretic, but the movie doesn't revolve around her. She's really good in that movie with Hugh Grant. But this movie, she was really, really astounding. And I'll talk more about her when I talk about the content that I've consumed, because she's in it in the when what I watched. But yeah, I think Companion is really, really good. I think it's probably the best movie, the best wide release movie that we've seen so far this year. In the first few weeks.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
It's.
I'm going to say this optimistically. I think it's likely going to be in my top 10 by the end of the year, maybe even top 5.
It's. Well, all I know is that it's just another great showing for original horror. It's opening weekend. It made $9.5 million, which is really big because the budget was $10 million. So that's great. That's really, really good. So yeah, that's our little spiel on what we've been watching since we last spoke.
Yeah. Now it's time to get into the official content we've consumed.
What we've actually been consuming. Once again, your boy is lacking on the James Bond watching.
You promised our viewers last week, Sawyer.
I'm sorry.
We've just lost all of them now. They all left.
Okay.
Every single one of them.
No, I can say viewers now too, because you could be listening to this on YouTube.
Especially my mom. My mom was literally like, she's like, oh, I want to hear about.
I'm sorry,
James
Roberta. Roberta, I'm sorry.
I don't actually think she's gotten to this point. I don't think she's started season 3.
But when you do catch up, Roberta, just let it be known that I'm sorry for disappointing you. Roberta, please know that I am very sorry for disappointing you. That's all I have to say. Now let's get into the content we've consumed. Who wants to go first, everybody?
Dibs out.
Okay, I'm going to go first. Okay, so I was just talking about Sophie Thatcher, and that is because I just started watching Yellow Jackets, which is a series that started in 2021, much like Invincible did. But this is a star-studded... excuse me, sorry. Yuck. So, it's a star-studded cast. It's the story of a girls' soccer team who survive a plane crash in the wilderness, apparently in Ontario. So, shout out to Ontario for... having a wilderness to get stuck in.
Yep. One of the worst places in Canada to get stuck. I'm kidding.
Worst would be Quebec.
Yeah, I was going to say worst would be Quebec.
It's Quebec and Alberta. Those are the worst.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. Getting stuck up north would suck a lot.
Would you rather be stuck in just a bunch of hills, valleys, and open fields with windmills, or with French people?
Okay, never mind. Quebec is the worst place to get stuck. So,
everyone say "fuck the French." Fuck the French.
Yeah.
not the actual French, just the Quebecois.
Yeah, just the.
Yeah.
And they are a bunch of tabernacles. So, I'm only a few episodes in. I'm almost on episode 3. Season 3 comes out in next week, as of when you're be watching this or listening to this, whatever. It's a really, really great story, and it's about the team surviving in the wilderness as teenagers, and then in the present you see them like older and surviving once they've like gone back to the main world. So like I said, it stars Sophie Thatcher, Ella Purnell, Juliette Lewis, Christina Ricci, Melanie Lewinsky. I mean, Elijah Wood comes in the second season. I'm very, very excited to keep watching this because it's really great.
Where can you watch this?
It's on Crave.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan. So that's what I've been watching.
Yes.
What I watched.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. The
I'm still
content
thinking.
I've consumed is X-Men 2024 issue number 10.
Ooh, good stuff.
This issue is one of the best in this run so far. Oh my god, it was so fantastic. The whole issue is Cyclops and oh my god, why can't I remember his name? Another guy who works for the government. They're talking about what just happened, because in the story, X-Men and the Uncanny X-Men crossed over. They did a ray on the Grey Malkin prison, which is a prison for mutants. And this guy comes in. He's like, we need to talk and we can do stuff against you. And Cyclops shows the fact that he is a damn good leader. And his character, he's genuinely he is so well written, because he talks about the fact that if the government goes through with this, then mutually assured destruction is assured. Like he basically says, listen, you've got guns, you got nukes, but I've got mutants everywhere. He's like, I will not stop. Like, if you do this, I will do this too. If I have to lose, you're going to lose as well. And oh my god, I felt threatened when I read it.
Yep.
It was just fantastic. The art on the cover of it, for none of the variant issues, just the straight original one, actually like shows what is going on in the story really well as well, because it's just Cyclops standing there and he's blasting a bunch of bad guys, but it really works, and the dialogue is crisp and clear. They don't dance around anything. They're just direct, straight to the point. It's fantastic. I love it so much. But yeah, that's it for me.
What I really liked about it was what it really feels like is that the X-Men right now are moving away from Magneto and Charles Xavier, and it's sort of becoming like Rogue and Cyclops are taking over those mantles, which I think is really, really interesting, because like it's always Magneto and Xavier, and like having different characters take over that is just really interesting. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
I really, really like that series.
I enjoy that they're still in the series, but I'm very happy that they're taking a back seat to everything else that's going on. Aiden?
All right. I watched a movie recently. It was pretty cool. It's called Carry On. I believe Sawyer watched it and liked it.
Hell yeah, I watched it, motherfucker.
Absolutely loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Taron Egerton's always amazing. He's a great actor, and like all of the emotion that he conveys throughout the film is just amazing. I believe it's Jason Bateman who co-stars.
Jason Bateman. It's Yum Colette Serra is the director of the film.
Yes.
Who has sort of, in the nicest way possible, bro fell off. He directed Jungle Cruise and Black Adam. But
oh boy,
he did direct a bunch of Liam Neeson stuff. There was a time there that he was directing Liam Neeson stuff. So, anyways, continue your Carry On stuff.
I just really, really liked it. It was, I don't know, it kept my attention the whole movie, and like I was always kind of wondering what was going to happen next, because it was, all the characters were just very unpredictable, and it was really, really cool. I don't know, Jason Bateman was extremely menacing throughout the movie. I'm pretty sure it's well known that he's like the bad guy.
Yeah.
So
he's like, if you look at any of the marketing, it's so clear that he's the bad guy.
Yeah, and he was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I really like Taron Egerton in like action roles. I think he's really, really, really good at that.
Yeah,
and this one's like, it's pretty actiony, but you know.
Yeah,
I also just like these kinds of movies. They're really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I got to say about it.
It was really, really fun.
The script was scripting. The actors were acting.
Yes. There's not much more you can ask for from a film.
Yeah. Well,
other than that,
I think that was a rather fantastic episode. Not to pat ourselves on the back or anything, but
I'm gonna.
Ow! That was my head, not my back. Sorry, wasn't thinking.
With that though, I'm Macklin.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Sawyer.
We are the Wizards 3. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
all next time.
Au revoir.
Thank you so much for listening to that episode. Now, if you care to stick around, we have a quick little self-promotional sketch.
Just to set the scene before
I'm
we
going
before
on
we
a
begin,
trip.
Aiden is on his way to his favorite place in the world, Cedar Rapids.
I thought
He's
you were
so
going to say
excited.
Disneyland.
No,
Disney World.
he's going to
because
Cedar Rapids.
Universal Studios has Jurassic Park.
So he's super excited about that. So you're going to Cedar Rapids. You're just about to get on the plane.
All right. Bye, guys. I'm off on my trip to Cedar Rapids. I'm about to get on the plane now.
Hello, Aiden. I'm in your ear.
Hello.
I know. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna blackmail you. I've got like your family's hostage, but I couldn't help but overhear before I took over your earpiece. You were listening to something.
Oh, yeah, the Wizards 3 podcast.
Now what's that?
It's a podcast. Duh.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it sounded really funny. Like, what's the
It is
vibe?
really funny.
What's the vibe?
Silly, goofy guys talking about nerd things.
And what are the silly, goofy guys' names?
Aiden's the most important one.
Aren't-
And then
aren't you Aiden?
And then Macklin and Sawyer.
Isn't your name also Aiden?
Coincidence.
Is it really a coincidence? How come the voice I heard in your earpiece was the exact same as the one that I'm listening to now?
Coincidence.
Okay. Don't look
Don't
suspicious.
look into it. Don't look into it.
Pretend you're on the phone. Pretend you're on the phone.
Hey, Mom.
So before I get into blackmailing you to send this bomb onto the plane, I need to. I just need for you to do me a favor. Where can I find the Wizards 3?
Mom, you listen to this podcast on Spotify.
Anywhere else?
I guess you can watch it on YouTube now.
What else is on the YouTube?
Sawyer's Film School and a bunch of other VODs from our streaming channel.
One of those things sounds so cool,
Yeah, our streaming's pretty neat.
and so is so
We have
so
2
cool.
people running it.
Okay. What else? Where else can I find it?
Twitch.tv/TheWizards3Gaming.
Okay.
As well as we have Instagram and Twitter. But probably one of those not much longer.
We'll okay. Well, now thank you for that. Okay. You know, I was actually gonna do domestic terrorism, but I've actually decided not to because the
You know, the
Wizards 3.
podcast is way cooler.
The Wizards 3 podcast is. You've done your job. I'm gonna take my bomb and go elsewhere, and defuse it and send it to the police officers. And while I listen to the Wizards 3, so this just.
Would you let them know about it too? I've tried, but they keep saying, stop talking to us. You're just annoying at this point. So.
Hey everybody, it's me. I'm the Rock. Stop. I'm from everyone's favorite movie, G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra. If this has been this whole plug has just been to tell you to don't make bombs. Whatever you do, your life will go down the drain if you make bombs. Thank you. For the Wizards 3, this has been Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.